Hello and welcome to Let's Bleepin Play. I am the Dark Sean.
God
damn it.
I am the Mason who laughs. I was waiting for that.
We need to get the Mason signal up. Mason, Mason.
And I'm Thomas Begins. As I begin, Batman Arkham Asylum. Specifically the Return to Arkham version. I know a lot of people say it's not good, but I haven't had issues with it. Now watch me jinx it right there.
What does that mean? The return to...
It's the re-release for the PS4.
When they re-released it, because it was a PS3...
360.
360? Okay, I was like, I couldn't...
Yeah.
I was pretty sure it had a 360 version, but...
Yeah.
Once again, Thomas is going to start adding trophies to my my profile.
You're welcome. I played this game on normal mode for my easy playthrough, for my test playthrough. However, I hit a lot of brick walls, and y'all don't want to see me repeat the same goddamn things 12 times. So we'll do easy just for a nice, simple playthrough.
Yeah, we just want to play and talk about some the bats.
Talk about good old Batsy.
Yeah, which is very interesting to me. This is arguably the most famous Batman game ever made.
Oh, 100%.
The entire Arkham series is, but this started it. Mm-hmm. This came out in 2009, made waves. Everybody has played this game, except these two.
I've talked about it that when I bought my PlayStation 3, I got a copy of Dark Knight, Infamous, and this game. And I started playing this game, and then I put it down for a while, and then it got stolen, and I've never picked it back up again.
Oh, that's sad. You know, it's interesting. This as like with the long arm of history with these games, this one along with Origins has kind of been like almost like because like City is the one that everybody loves.
City's the one that everyone loves. City is considered the best superhero game ever made.
And in the series, I have watched a good chunk of Arkham Knight played, watched my brother-in-law play Arkham Knight a bunch.
That's the one that I've played, which is apparently the worst. I do not agree.
I mean...
I don't agree. It's the only one I've played, so I
don't have a baseline.
Arkham Knight, just getting that out of the way, Arkham Knight is still a good game. I personally just have a lot of issues with it. Mm-hmm. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about Arkham Asylum, the one that started it all. Which after
making a very simplistic Batman game.
Yeah, which after my test playthrough that I did, I recently played through the entire series. That's when I suggested to do this. This is working its way up into being one of my favorite games of all time. Mm-hmm. I love this game so much. Now watch me butcher it.
Well, I mean, that's what we do. That's why we bleep and play.
That's the guy in all the trailers.
Yep. Hi, Officer Balls.
What?
His name is Balls, but the meme is everyone calls him Balls.
And
Officer Balls.
This was really big because it brought our animated voice actors back.
It was basically an animated series reunion because not only do Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill return as Batman and the Joker, but Paul Dini wrote the script, and he wrote basically, I think, almost every great Batman the Animated Series episode.
This was, and it came out at a time right after Dark Knight had come out. Batman, arguably, probably where Batman was at its highest heights, outside of maybe '89 in terms of popularity in the world. Maybe you could say in the '60s, you could say '89, where just Batman had permeated every level of popular culture. And just the world, like, you couldn't go anywhere. Everyone was talking about Batman. It didn't matter whether you were a huge fan of The Dark Knight or whatever. Batman at that moment was everywhere.
Right.
Which I would say either 89, 08, 09, or in the 60s is probably the most popular Batman has ever been.
I would agree.
It's interesting that they... And I'm you may have to correct me on this. Didn't they cancel a Dark Knight game to make this?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That is interesting to me.
Well, some of it was that they couldn't get all the script a lot of the from what I understand, the Dark Knight, they were keeping a lot close to the vest, and they didn't want to give it up.
They didn't want people to,
so it was going to come out much later after the movie because of it.
Okay.
At least there was also some other stuff on it. I love the introduction to this game because I said I have played very little, but this introduction is so perfect. The slow moving.
This is a good introduction. My only issue is you have to play it every time you replay the game. Mm-hmm. So it's very cool the first time you do it, and like the 7th time, it's like, holy, get a move on.
Just get it over with. Okay, so it'll I don't know when it'll come out in relation to this, but at some point we'll have a Batsuit tier list up on YouTube. I don't know when that'll come out in relation to this, but looking at this suit made me think of it, and something that I don't know if I mentioned when we did that, I don't like how tall the ears are on this suit.
That's right, your shorter ears.
I like
I
prefer the shorter ears, yeah.
I'm kind of indifferent to the ears, but I do tend to like and there are some suits that I really like the smaller ears, but I'm more partial to like the very pointy big ears.
I go back and forth. Mm-hmm. I don't really care.
It's not one that really, I don't have huge passions on the ears of the Batsuit. I do have passions on red Batsuit. See our tier list to know more about that.
Christ.
But
hi, Steve Bloom.
Excellent. Friend of the show.
Sure.
Friend quotations.
That's our oh shoot, what's it called? He's our parasocial friend.
I feel like one of these days I'm actually going to go to a convention that Steve Bloom's at and be like, "Hi, you don't know me, but you've been friend of our show forever."
And he'll just be like, "I'm calling the cops."
And he's going to be like, "Here's that lawsuit we've been cease and desist letter." One of the things, remember...
I got a restraining order from Steve Bloom. I'm going to hang it up next to my restraining order with Mark Hamill.
Remember, at the time, what was really populating video games, specifically action games in the late 2000s? Assassin's Creed was the biggest thing in the world, or in the, 2005 to 2008 range. Mm-hmm. And... this kind of brought back kind of that more enclosed feeling as we were going more and more open to worlds. This brought a lot more enclosed action back, and it done so well. It's
kind of funny how the Arkham franchise kind of worked backwards in that way, went closer and got more open. Oh God,
I love the design.
Oh, nice teeth. He is scary.
As he should be.
He is a scary looking motherfucker.
I typically prefer Killer Croc to just be a big dude and not a big monster, but that's just me. For a big monster design, this is a very good design.
I think I actually kind of split the difference. I think in like games and animated stuff, I like him to be more of a monster, but I don't think it works as well in live action. So I'd rather him just be more of a big dude in live action.
So you'd prefer like the way he's in Suicide Squad, except you'd prefer him to like do stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't dislike the look in Suicide Squad. I think there's a couple of things they could have really worked on and fine-tuned and maybe not made him a racial stereotype.
Had him do something.
And have him, yeah.
But you could say that about 96% of the Suicide Squad.
99.9% of the Suicide Squad.
The non-Harley Quinn and Will Smith of Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And this is a little bit of a Joker tipping his hand. Mm-hmm. That basically a lot of this got planned.
Oh, yeah.
So, because it's Joker. This is a good balance of Mastermind Joker and absolute numbnut Joker. Because he planned this, but he's still crazy and kind of a moron. Which, in my opinion, is a pretty good Joker. Because I kind of hate Mastermind Joker.
Oh, I don't like Mastermind Joker at all. Like, so there's an episode of the Justice League where all of the villains team up together.
Sorry.
Oh.
This is just really cool.
Oh yeah, this is a good part. I know exactly.
Stay where you are. Get a flashlight. Get a light on him.
That's so goddamn cool.
So cool.
Stop laughing.
So there's an episode of the Justice League where all the villains team up together and they take out most of the Justice League, but they're struggling with Batman at the end there. And Joker steps in and is able to give them Batman. But the thing about a lot of that is that Joker is kind of the downfall of that team because none of them really want to work with the Joker.
Oh, this guy.
And so, like, it's actually like that so much so that it's what
Let's say we aim for 100.
Superman villain, large gorilla with brain.
Oh,
That's
Gorilla Grodd.
That's a Flash villain. And it's
Flash, sorry,
Gorilla
Flash.
Is that Gorilla Grodd?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah. Flash, yeah.
Grodd. Sorry.
No, you're right. You're right. I unfortunately, I am not the DC master. Thomas is the DC Lorax. If we have a Lorax here, he speaks for the DCs.
I mean, to be fair, I'm the one who said it.
No. Sean
we're-
said Superman villain. You said Gorilla Grodd.
Oh, was
you
that
were
not
actually
right?
you were actually correct. You
Oh,
were
I
you,
was correct?
you were correct in saying that it was Gorilla Grodd.
Okay.
But the whole point of that Justice League episode is that he turns against all of them for basically a nicer cell in prison. It's a really good episode, as most Justice League is. But that's kind of highlights that the Joker, I like when he's chaos, and it works a lot of the times, but he is always a double-edged sword. That's the best. Like, you cannot... He's going to either bring himself down or bring everyone else down because he can't fully succeed.
Yeah.
You just kicked that guy in the dick?
I think he just kicked him. I don't know if it was
That
specifically in the
joke's
dick.
on you. That's funny.
And this was Arlene Sorkin coming back as Harley Quinn.
Oh, yeah.
Where the rest of the series it would be Tara Strong.
Which I don't dislike Tara Strong's Harley Quinn. I actually think it's pretty good, but it is definitely a step down.
Tara Strong's Harley Quinn is just I'm not the biggest fan of it.
I think it's fine, but also when you listen, it is like you listen between the two, you're like, oh yeah, one is definitely better. And again, Tara Strong is a very good voice actor. Her Harley Quinn isn't always the best, even though that's what a lot of people like to think of her role these days.
Yeah.
It's interesting because, of course, I'm going to compare this to Arkham Knight because that's, again, the one I've played. But it's interesting comparing that game to this game visually because that one, Arkham Knight, I think, tries to lean more into the realism. This looks more like a comic book.
Oh yeah, I love the look of this game.
I think especially with like the motion blur when he fights, like the lines that form when he goes to swing with a punch, like that is very comic book.
One of the things that I really like for this game, and again, I have only played a little bit of it, so like it may change as the game goes on. But I love kind of how small everything feels around you. Like you feel contained in a small area while fighting bad guys. And that is really cool for me, which then, the rest of the games go much bigger.
Yes.
And the one that I've played a little bit is City because I played the demo, which isn't very long.
Oh, the Riddler.
Oh, they
Riddle me-
started in this game?
Riddle me this,
Yeah.
Batman.
I thought that started in City.
Nope. Started in Arkham Asylum.
How many are in this?
200.
Lordy.
It is the only one I have bothered to 100% because a lot of them are honestly pretty easy.
Of course it is.
Hello.
Like sassy Batman.
Oh,
Sass man
full,
is-
full disclosure, one of the reasons Arkham Asylum is one of my favorites in the series is because of how Batman is written. Mm-hmm. He's actually kind of funny in this game, which is so much better than how they usually do Batman, which is angsty dickhead. Mm-hmm. Especially, like, I know a lot of people criticize Knight for that, and I think Knight does have it bad, but to be fair, he is kind of dying in that game. Mm-hmm. And he is in City as well, but City has it worse for me.
God, look at those cape physics.
Yep.
So good.
It's on display.
It's almost like they spent like a year, like for, up to like 2
Up it up.
years on the physics
Oh
of the game.
yeah.
It also introduced free flow combat, which, even though technically Assassin's Creed did it first, this kind of perfected it, and so many games after this copied it.
Again, Thomas having played the whole series, I having played an hour, Mason only playing the last game. I feel like, again, I love I actually do really like Assassin's Creed combat. Like, I really do enjoy especially OG Assassin's Creed combat in games. But I think sometimes it feels like massive throughout big areas in the fight, and you get kind of stuck. I like the enclosedness of fighting in the Asylum.
Yeah, I mean, it gets more open as the series goes
Yes.
on, but the thing that makes it better than Assassin's Creed, in my opinion, is that Batman jumps around like a lunatic. So he basically, with a couple of exceptions, mainly in this game, I'll admit, Batman will almost always find his way to the bad guy and just punch him in the face from like 3 miles away. It's both really effective. It's 3 things. It's really effective, makes you feel like a badass, and it's hilarious.
Have you ever seen like those videos on TikTok where they'll do like the Arkham combat in slow motion? And
Yeah.
it's like that guy's dead.
Oh yeah, and that definitely It got worse in City. In City, it's like, no, you are murdering people, Batman. But in this game, it's still pretty bad.
Fry him. Do something.
Hi, Zaz. He's down there. He's got the bad guys.
What a last name.
Victor Zaz. Yeah. Oh, by the way, you do get character bios if you're interested in all the character stuff.
It's also interesting, like how different the aesthetic in this game is compared to Arkham Knight. There's a lot more like blues and grays.
Again, this was the PS3 era, and this was really leaning into gothic horror. This is more or less based on a very horror story.
Oh, very much.
Arkham Asylum, A Serious House on Serious Earth. Hi, Zaz, you're such a lame goddamn villain. Punch you in the ass.
I'm gonna fist you to death.
Shocking rescue.
That was pretty shocking. You fisted him to death. Oh, hello.
Full disclosure, I don't like this Harley Quinn design.
No, I really don't. Like, her shoulders.
It's not even the sex appeal. It's just, honestly, the outfit just looks kind of
Yeah,
ugly to me.
it just looks off, I guess.
Like, again, I like the titty. Show me the titty. That's good. But the outfit itself just looks ugly to me.
This is also that time when, like, they were not wanting to go back to, like, classic Harley Quinn ever. Like,
Yeah, which they still don't.
They still don't.
Nowadays, it's just they put her in a leather jacket and boom, that's Harley Quinn.
or considering was the last time that Harley Quinn was in the classic outfit the really bad animated movie?
No, she was in the original outfit in the series.
Okay.
Yeah,
In the Harley Quinn
for a
series.
brief
Oh
moment,
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Oracle, I'm here.
In the really really bad Bruce Timm movie.
I don't know, man. You put on a corset and a skirt, and I tend to smile. Like,
I mean, that's fair. Again,
Maybe it's the color scheme.
I think it's honestly that. I don't know why. I just don't like this outfit of hers.
I think I will give you. I personally really like it, but I will give you. It probably looked better if it was like in a brighter red.
Shocker. Mason liked some stylistic design from this series. That's never happened. Meanwhile, Thomas and I are either like, it's okay, or we don't like it, and Mason's like, I love it.
Tune into our Batsuit conversation.
Or go watch our Batmobile conversation.
Basically, anytime we talk about Batman.
I actually, because I remember, I didn't get very far, but I did get into, like, I remember being like, the vents were really cool to walk through.
It's interesting that they have Riddler trophies here before they've even shown the Riddler.
Spoilers, they don't show the Riddler.
Oh,
The Riddler is basically just a voice in this game.
I think that's actually really cool, is that, like, not to say that, like, people don't know who the Riddler is, but it is a fun, like, little, like, for Batman fans, there's just little extra things that, like, if you really do know Batman, oh yeah, that's cool, that's there.
Well, I mean, no.
the universe feels lived in.
Well, no, they do obviously say it's the Riddler.
Yeah. Oh, I know. But it's one of those that's like, it feels like the whole world exists even if you're not seeing the villains.
That's fair. Move. All right. Jesus Christ.
I like the
got
idea
it.
with how fast you're moving through Arkham that it's just like, you're like, yeah, I've done this before.
Yeah, Joker, this is the 5th time. I'm getting real sick of this shit.
I can't remember. I can't remember if it's in this game or if it's in City. But I love when video games have. I love when video games have really creative anti-piracy measures. I don't know if you've ever, I feel like Thomas probably has. I don't know if you've heard about this, Sean. It's either in Asylum or City, but there's an anti-piracy measure that they have in the game where if you have a pirated copy, you won't be able to glide, and there are some segments where you need to glide.
Like here.
Yeah, like there. So it basically soft locks the game. And there were people on Twitter being like, "Hey, I got this copy of Arkham. The glide isn't working for some reason. Can you tell me how?" And everybody's like, you just outed yourself for pirating this game."
Also, this is hilarious. Save the criminal.
He's like, well, I can't kill you. That's my one rule.
Hey, look. He's not going to kill him, but he doesn't have to save him either.
He did literally just save him. Now shut up.
I don't have to save you, but I do. Oh, wait.
I don't have to save you.
Is that the biggest bullshit moment in a Batman movie? Just any of them.
Like, look, Michael Keaton's Batman killed so many people. We understand that death is going to happen. Just don't. The line bothers me.
It's mainly, yeah, it's exactly that. It's the line. Like, I won't kill you, but I don't have to save you. Which is basically killing him.
It's indirect, yeah.
You didn't save him. Your whole point is that you don't. You had a chance and you didn't. I mean, he didn't.
You had your chance and you failed.
Also, that's just, I love the Joker face drawn on that.
He brings up the criminal. I don't have to kill you, but I don't have to sit. Hello? Hey, can you hear me? Hey, wake up!
I don't have to save you, but I do have to kill you. I mean...
Oh, hi, Ben Affleck, Batman. Batfleck.
So, as we're getting to the end of this episode here, but I think I've said this a bunch here in this first part that I like the kind of intimate size of the levels in game, that it feels a lot more smaller, because I think Batman works better in more contained areas. It's like in a Spider-Man game, you do want to be able to explore as much of New York swinging through. In a Superman game, I'd want to be able to fly around or run around. Heck, if we had a Flash game, I'd like to run around, and go large distances. But Batman, I like a lot more contained.
Right. I tend to agree. I tend to prefer stories where Batman is trapped in an area. Mm-hmm. And here's one of the other downsides of the game. This boss fight right here, this is basically it. These are basically the boss fights for the game. These big dudes.
Is that Solomon Grundy?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's just a random goon guy.
Just a random big guy. For a second, I thought he looked like Solomon Grundy.
Hey. Yeah, because this is the plot point of the game, is there's this thing called Titan. It's what powers Bane, and Joker wants it. And Titan will do shit like this to people who aren't used to it.
Who aren't worthy.
Not exactly. Yeah, heroin only f***s you up if you aren't worthy.
He who does the drugs, shall he be Thor?
If he be worthy, shall whoever does the drugs, if he be worthy, will have the power of Thor. That's not actually true. Do not do drugs. You will not get Thor powers.
You'll feel like it until you inevitably
Until
crash.
you don't.
Meanwhile, you're just like running around in circles, and you're like, "Look at me, I'm Thor!" Has anybody watched Horrible Bosses?
I've
Yes.
heard of it.
There's a scene where Charlie Day does cocaine, and it is absolutely hilarious. Well, he doesn't. He drops Colin Farrell's cocaine, and it goes up in the air, and he's like, he's cleaning up. He's like, I'm gonna pick up the pieces, pick up the pieces, pick up the pieces, pick up the pieces. Do you need to do push-ups? I think I should do push-ups. It's very funny.
Now this is a boss fight you can beat, but it's also basically timed.
Why? Nice slow-mo. Hey guys,
Because as you can see, there's no health bar, so it's ultimately just kind of timed. Yep.
This thing kind of reminds me.
Ah!
yeah, you're not supposed to hit that.
Kind of reminds me. There's these creatures in Final Fantasy 13 that look kind of like.
It all
this
comes
thing.
back to Final Fantasy.
Hey, I mean, the Final Fantasy creator did do a Batman game.
Really?
Yeah, Dark Tomorrow, the
It's a
bad
bad
one.
one.
Oh, the bad one. Oh. Yike. I say the bad one. There's been more than one.
Yeah, okay, stop punching the ground, dickhead.
He's like, no, I need to punch the ground. Oh,
Yeah, there we go. He can't take the Titan, so the Titan kills him.
I walk so I don't.
So basically, it's
piss
just a
the
survival thing. Just don't die.
Yeah. Which, even on the harder difficulties, it's not very hard.
I like the Joker's just like, well, damn it. That wasn't fun.
ground. That wasn't funny. That wasn't. Wait a minute.
Batman's like, well, I'm tempted.
Stop me once and for all.
Jason Todd just in the corner.
Yeah. God damn it!
Bruce is like, Jason, not again. All right, throw Joker in the Lazarus pit.
Good lord. What would God?
Well, I mean, Jason did technically get a chance to kill Joker, one of 3. Because that was a plot point.
Oh, yeah.
But look at us. We've beaten a boss. We've started to uncover some of the Joker's plot. Batman is hearing things in his head.
And we got an upgrade.
Oh my goodness, and we did awesome things. And we'll be back next time on Let's Bleepin' Play.